ready to spoil you and take care of
Ooh, this is a hot topic. And ladies, get out your pen and paper because we're going to break it down to two important steps. This is going to completely change the game for you. So, if you have been playing in the patterns of attracting avoidant type men, men that have been breadcrumbing you, men that are just staying in situationships, he's just not stepping up, then this video is for you.
you. Yes. And I'm Coach B, former lifelong
Mhm.
bachelor, who married my beautiful wife, Natasha, who was actually a former single mom of
Mhm.
four.
Yes.
So we'll go into detail today and tell you our story, give you tools and tips, help coach you
Mhm.
through where you're at.
Yeah, so for those of you that are new here, I specialize in helping women with their hormones, their nervous system, and feminine energy. So this is the game changer, ladies.
Mm.
This is the game changer when attracting a certain type of man. Like in my situation and the women that we've coached, we have helped over 1,000 women
Mm.
up to this point. So we got the
Yeah.
receipts and we know what we're doing because so many of the women that we help are the amazing women. You are beautiful. You're a lot of them are boss babes or
Mm.
professionals. They've just been playing in those patterns of, being in your masculine energy, taking care of everybody. You take care of everyone around you.
Mm.
You're tired of attracting the men that are not fully stepping up, providing, taking care of you, making your life easier, especially for my single
Yes.
mamas, right? And we are done with those old paradigms.
Yes.
We are in a new reality. So
Yes.
this is going to be a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And we'll just show you how attracting these guys is so
Hmm.
easy once you have
Yes.
the right tools and you do the inner work.
Yeah. I mean, we've had engagements and marriages every single month in our Feminine Energy Academy. And it's really cool to watch. We've been doing this for about a year now. And it's really cool to see the progression of the women
Yes.
that have jumped in and have been doing the stuff that we teach. And, then they start attracting different types of guys and they start getting engaged and married. And it's
Yes.
really cool to see.
Yeah. So you ready to jump right into it?
Yes, let's do it. Okay. So, point number one, ladies, if you want to detach from the wrong guys and you want to become a love magnet to the right guys, I'm talking the men that are in their provider energy,
Mm.
men that want to show up consistently for you, men that are emotionally available consistently.
Yes.
You want to check those types of guys, right? Okay. So, the first thing I need you to know, and that you're going to know this from a place of self love,
Mm.
no judgment at all, just pure curiosity. Okay. This is actual neuroscience and this is actual psychology.
Mm.
What I want you to know is right now, we attract who we are. Okay. So that means that if you are attracted to a certain type of guy, meaning like you have a type, you have a guy that you find attractive, and you have certain types of guys that you don't even know
Yeah.
exist. Okay. You're not attracted to those guys yet. Okay. What I want you to know is that is your nervous system
Mm.
playing out old attachment style patterns from childhood.
Mm.
Okay. And it's all
Yeah.
subconscious. This is why you are attracted to those types of guys. So, but until you recognize that and you get curious with the patterns, you get curious with the types of guys that you go for
Yeah.
or that you tend to attract, you're not going to be able to shift anything.
Yeah.
So, what I really, really want you to catch is okay, if I want to start attracting men that are emotionally available, they're not avoidant men that are showing up consistently for me, I need to recognize
Mm.
that I'm playing in avoidant
Yeah.
patterns. I'm playing in avoidant
Yeah.
patterns. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not about reading certain books or talking to your
Yes.
friends about I keep attracting the same guy.
Yep.
It's about really embodying and changing that
Yes.
nervous system because these things are
Yes.
happening subconsciously. You're
Mhm.
out and about and
Mhm.
these same type of guys, whether you like it or not, these same
Mhm.
type of guys are approaching you.
Yep.
They want to take you out.
Mhm.
But these may not be the type of guys that you want to be with. So it's
Yeah.
definitely so important to
Mhm.
understand because on this channel we really talk about the awareness of where
Mhm.
you're at, so being
Yeah.
aware of where you're at and being okay with it, not beating
Yeah.
yourself up, not
Yes.
being upset, but just coming to that reality of this is where I'm at,
Mhm.
and we'll give you the tools to make
Yes.
different decisions, to be able to embody the new you, because in your heart, deep in your heart, who you want to attract is who you really are, but it's about
Mm.
doing the work and having the tools.
Oh, that's so good, babe.
Yes.
Yes, 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 exactly. Because at a head knowledge, you want different.
Mhm.
And the thing is, the reason why we keep talking about this is because I understand how much shame this can
Mhm.
bring, especially if you're the type of woman that you're like, I'm so much smarter than this.
Yeah.
I'm so much smarter than this. Why do I keep attracting these types of guys?
Yes.
Right. And that's when dating feels exhausting.
Mm.
Relationships feel exhausting. Marriage
Yes.
feels exhausting. And
Yes.
we're here to tell you it doesn't have to be like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Marriage can be fun. Like we are having even more fun than when we were dating, and
Yes.
dating was fun.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And shout out to Christy. And what we hear, Christy was in our Feminine Energy Academy.
Yeah. Hey,
What
Christy.
we hear a lot as well is dating is so exhausting.
Hmm.
It's just so much work to do. I have to do this, I have to do
Yeah.
that. But understand this in anything that you're doing, if it's a new job,
Yeah.
if it's getting a new house, you have to make adjustments. You have to do things differently than you did previously
Yep.
to be successful. So it's not that it's exhausting,
Yep.
but what it is you've been doing it wrong most
Yep.
of the time. You've been
Yep.
doing it in a way that's not fun, in a way that you
Yes.
don't enjoy.
Oh my
So
God,
now to
yes.
make that shift, it seems like a lot of work, but it's really the only way that you can be in a successful fun, because you always have to put the work in at the beginning.
Yes.
Once you put the work in at the beginning, everything else is so much easier, because now you understand instead of trying to fix it
Yeah.
as you go.
Yeah.
That can be challenging. That can be a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you have a house, from our homeowners, if you have a home and you get a new home, a new build, it's a lot easier than getting a house that has so much work
Yeah.
that needs to be done. So
Yeah.
it's better to get something and understand at the beginning that this is what I want, this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Things are already in order.
Yep.
Now the relationship's a lot smoother. But when you jump in and it's like, okay, I didn't know the foundation was messed up. You're just jumping from relationship to relationship, not having the tools to even see
Yes.
what's going on in your life or what's going on in his life. Things seem like a lot of work because they're just popping up. Something's happening every day.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. I love this. And it's crazy because just this week I saw two different dating coaches who are single, by the way, but very popular
Yes.
dating coaches online. And they're talking about how dating is so hard. Dating is
Mm.
so hard. Actually, I've heard this from three dating coaches,
Wow.
popular dating coaches. Dating is so hard nowadays. No, it's not. It's hard when you don't do the inner work. Now, there's Steph. Steph, she's in the FEA. She's like,
Yes.
this is exactly why I joined the Feminine Energy
Mm.
Academy, right? This is why. See, we live in a different reality. Okay. So there might be other coaches out there or other people out there. They're like, dating is so hard. It's so exhausting, blah, 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 but not in the reality that we live in. We get to
Yes.
decide to live in a totally different reality, but we also are doing the inner work.
Yes.
We're teaching you the actual tools that you need to choose differently. This is actual psychology. This is actual
Mm.
neuroscience. And it's so subconscious. And that's why it can feel so exhausting, because
Mm.
you don't realize you're playing those patterns. So, step one is always, always recognizing it, but recognizing it from a place of love,
Mm.
not from a place of getting mad at the guys, not getting mad at yourself, shaming yourself,
Yeah.
even if you're playing in situationships or have been playing in situationships or married an unhealthy man.
Yeah.
We have women that have come out of that and healing that as well. And so this is your judgment free zone to
Mm.
heal. But the first step is you have to recognize those patterns and recognize that, like, give yourself some grace. Okay.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
just recognize, okay, I don't like the types of guys I've been attracting, but now I'm recognizing I'm just playing out old childhood patterns. This is what my nervous system thinks is normal,
Yes.
and this is why I'm attracted to those guys. This is why I'm attracted to the bad
Yeah.
boys. This is why I'm attracted to the emotionally unavailable men, the avoidant men, the men that are hot and cold, because these are the patterns
Mm.
that played out when I was a child. Okay, so give yourself so much love and grace.
Yes.
Okay, so that's step one. Do
Yes.
you want to add anything before we go to step two,
No,
baby?
let's get to step two.
Okay, so step two is this. Once you actually heal, so you're taking that accountability back, you're taking your power back, and you're recognizing, okay, it's not the guy, it's not the dating apps,
Mm.
ladies. I know that's another thing. It's like, oh, it's the dating apps. No, it's not that he's from America. That's another story that we hear women play. It's like, oh, American men this, American men that, right? That's not true either. I
Right.
married an American.
Exactly.
His whole family is married, a bunch of them married single
Yes.
moms too, and they're all happily married. So that's not the story either. Okay, that's not the truth either. But it's you taking your power back and actually doing your inner work. Now, when you actually do the inner work that we teach, where you can learn how to not be avoidant anymore or
Mm.
playing in those anxious style attachment patterns anymore, but you actually learn how to re-regulate that nervous system
Mm.
so you can feel safe with your emotions. You can show up consistently for
Yeah.
you. Okay, I know this because I coach women every single day. This is the main thing that we teach them: retrain the nervous system
Yeah.
to show up consistently for you. We're going to stop abandoning ourselves, ladies, and that looks like things like, for all my nice girls out there, abandoning yourselves to take care of people,
Mm.
abandoning yourself to take care of your kids,
Yeah.
abandoning yourself to take care of family members, abandoning yourself to take care of
Yeah.
clients, or to chase after clients, abandoning yourself to take care of everyone at work, abandoning yourself. Okay, we're going to stop doing that. We're going to start following through on promises to
Mm.
ourselves. One of the main things I get my girls to do in the Feminine Energy Academy, as they're doing the inner healing, the inner child healing, and the nervous system re-regulating, is we have accountability in there to
Mm.
help you retrain your nervous system to follow through
Yeah.
on micro promises to yourself
Yeah.
and stop abandoning yourself.
Yeah.
And what happens is, not only will you start to look good and feel good, like your hormones will start to balance out, you'll start to lose the weight, you'll start to have a glow up because you're actually refilling your cup and taking
Mm.
care of you now, but people around you will start to mirror that back to you.
Mm.
And this is something we see every single day with the women in our
Yeah.
program.
And it's so important
Hmm.
that follow through, because what happens
Yeah.
is, as you attract guys and you're in your healing phase, you attract guys who, even like myself, were avoidant at
Yeah.
times.
Yes.
I had an avoidant phase, which was
Yeah.
probably about 30 something years. But before I got married, even when we started dating,
Yeah.
it was some areas that came up
Mm.
with me. But what
Yeah.
happened, and what was so important, was she was able to follow through with promises to herself, in a
Hmm.
sense of, she knew what she wanted, she knew
Yeah.
what she desired,
Yeah.
and things didn't drag out. When I showed signs of being avoidant and not really wanting to step up and take the next step in the
Yeah.
relationship, she made a decision because she knew what she wanted. So she
Mm.
made a decision to end the relationship, or just us getting to know each other, because we
Yeah.
weren't officially together at the
Hmm.
time. And that allowed her to save time and to really
Yeah.
hone in on exactly the guy that she was looking for. Now, I'm the
Mm.
same person, but I wasn't the same guy.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of the same skills. I wasn't following through. I was avoidant on, okay, let's move this relationship forward. But the promises she made to herself is the reason why we're here together now. Because what it did, and we always talk about this, it causes the right guy to either step back or step
Hmm.
up. So
Yep.
in that case, I didn't have a choice but to step back, because she made a
Yeah.
decision. But what I did was I stepped up. I started doing things different.
Yeah.
I came back with a different mentality, with a different, just saying things differently and different
Hmm.
actions.
Yes.
And 8 months after that, we were engaged. 3 months after that, we were married. So it's
Yeah.
so important to follow through for yourself, because it saves you time and it draws the right guy to you.
That's so good. I love what you said there. I want to repeat it, honey. So, what he said, ladies, and catch this, okay? It causes the wrong guys to fall away and it causes the right guys to step up. And that's exactly what happened
Yeah.
with us. Because I was probably like a lot of you ladies, in the sense I had done a lot of inner healing before I
Mm.
went on the dating apps.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, okay, I don't like that I'm here, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, went on the dating apps. I had strategy, that I teach my ladies. I attracted my husband
Yeah.
immediately the first week we met. But because I still needed to do some more nervous system re-regulating. I still had some more inner healing to do.
Mm.
I was still very much playing in those avoidant patterns myself
Mhm.
without realizing it. I didn't think I was, right? Because I'm like a lot of you, it's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Of course, I'm emotionally available and secure. I mean, I was married before, right? So I'm
Mm.
good. I got this. That was my attitude. But people mirror your energy, and
Mhm.
that's how you can know, right? And so even I attracted this amazing man who was literally perfect, matched my love list, everything I wanted in a husband and a father to my kids. But he, would only make it up to this certain point and then wasn't fully committing to
Yeah.
marriage, right? And so, I detached, right? What I teach my ladies, I detached. I was healthy enough
Mhm.
and healed enough that I understood that this wasn't good. So I detached, right? You're not going to be able to detach, ladies, until your nervous system is in a
Mm.
healed place, okay? So I was able to detach, but I had enough sense to not jump back on the dating apps and just find somebody else. I had enough sense to know, okay, this guy is amazing, and I'm still attracting a man that is not fully committing to me, not stepping up. So this is just mirroring what's going on inside of me. So without any judgment, I was like, I'm going to take a break from dating and do my inner healing. I'm going to do another layer of inner healing. And that was probably a deeper layer of inner healing, another layer of inner healing that I didn't know I needed. And I would say that's probably most of the women that have done inner work, done inner healing, ready to get married. You're probably attracting good guys, but you still have this like overwhelmed feeling where like at the last moment, you're kind of like noticing that you're not fully falling through. You're starting to find things that are wrong with him, or he's falling away. He's pulling away. Like you're in that stage. That's when you got to do another layer of just like deep inner healing and nervous system re-regulating to feel safe to be married again. And that was my thing, is being like actually feeling safe in my nervous system to be married again. And it was like, once I did that and I was really just focused on that, and then I was going to start dating on the dating apps again. Before I even got to that point, my husband had come into the picture. He had done more inner work on himself. You know, we weren't even talking to each other. He had done more inner work on himself. And then when we came back together, we were ready. Yeah.
And it's a good note for the ladies too, because what we hear at times is, how much into my healing do I need to be before I can pursue a relationship or look to start a relationship with marriage? And the healing journey is ongoing. So during that process, even though she wasn't fully healed in that area, she was healed enough to understand that I may not know what to do, but I know this doesn't feel right. And I know I need to step away and then see exactly what I need to do. So it's okay as long as you're in your journey. And we talk about this as well, because we talk to guys that are bachelors that are looking for wives. It's not that men are looking for perfect women. What men are looking for is women that first acknowledge where they're at and are doing work towards where they're looking to go. So as long as you're on your healing journey, men will be willing to be with you. If you're in your feminine, your wife material, they're willing to be with you. But being on that journey and starting that journey is so key, because so much can happen once you have that understanding of, I may not have it all. I want to be here. I want to be in a relationship, but I'm able to actually get the work, get the healing that's needed. And that process, starting that process is so key.
Honestly, you guys, dating nowadays, it's like personal development on crack. It's like starting a business. Anyone that's a business owner knows what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's starting a business is like personal development on crack. Same with dating, because you can't hide. You cannot hide. You are going to attract where your energy is at. You could look like a dime. You could be a 10 out of 10. You could be a church going girl. You love God. You're praying. You want a kingdom man, all this stuff, right? You've been waiting on the Lord, all this stuff. But your energy will not lie. Who you attract is going to show you where your energy is at. And it can be very humbling. Right. And it's just like starting a business. It's very humbling. But the beautiful thing about that is when we meet that with so much self-love and curiosity and not judgment, and equally as important is you actually do the inner healing, the stuff that we teach, it's going to be so fulfilling. It's going to be so rewarding, because right now most people are exhausted from dating. Most people are struggling in marriages, and it's just because they haven't been given the tools, right? But in the Feminine Energy Academy, if you decide to want to do this inner work and you're like, okay, I'm ready to like explore this, what I get you girls to do is first, you're going to determine what your attachment style is. What patterns have you been playing in? A big part of what we do is help you recognize the patterns you have been playing in. And how I do things differently is I look at 3 areas of your life. So we look at your body and your hormones. We look at your love life, like dating and marriage, and we look at your finances. We're not going to look at your finances, but we look at your relationship to money, because that's going to also tell you the patterns you've been playing in. How you do anything is how you do everything, right? And I'm willing to bet that if you've been playing in certain patterns in one area of your life, you've been playing in certain patterns in other areas of your life without realizing it. You're likely been in that chasing mode with all areas of your life, right? Abandoning yourself which causes a hormone issues, or avoidant, that disorganized style where you kind of go between anxious and stressed and dysregulated and avoidant and like complete shutdown.
Yes.
Right. And so what you'll notice is like, oh my gosh, I've been doing that. And that's why I'm holding on to my weight. That's why I have cortisol, PCOS issues. Right. And then it's like, oh, this is why I'm attracting emotionally unavailable men or men that are not providing. Oh my gosh, even in my finances, I'm chasing after money. I feel like I'm, always playing catch up. I feel like I have a hot and cold relationship with money where money is not showing up consistently for me. Am I talking to anybody right now?
And we have a
Yeah.
couple of comments and questions I want to get to. First, Donna said, Donna's in our Feminine Energy
Hey,
Academy.
Donna.
She said, thanks, coaches. I'm seeing better quality men
Mm,
online since doing the work, and the work being in the Feminine Energy Academy,
yes.
even though they are not for me, but an abundance of higher quality men.
So good. So good.
Yes.
And this is what I want to encourage you ladies that are on this healing journey. Okay. As you heal, the more you heal your nervous system, the more you, and I can attest for Donna because she's in the FEA. She's joined not that long ago, but she's doing the inner work. How you pick men and what you find attractive will change. That will change. That is a sign that you're actually healing. Is a type of men that you are picking and choosing to date will change. Okay. So, one of the biggest signs that you are actually healing is when you're attracting different types of guys, you're attracting higher quality men, meaning that they want to show up for you consistently. They are provider type men, stuff like that. Right. But the other thing too is you are just going to find the emotionally unavailable men unattractive, and the guys that maybe you never would have picked before, because before you were picking guys based on physical looks, how ripped they were, and the money that they made and the cars that they drive and how they dress. That's how you're picking men before. You're not going to pick men like that anymore. You're going to pick men that are maybe a little bit more simple looking because they're not into themselves, right? They're more simple looking. Maybe they got a little pudge. That's okay. Maybe they're not 6'2", right? That's okay. Maybe they're a different race, even different cultural background. But what you'll notice is these are the types of guys that are totally in love with you, want to show up consistently for you, want to provide for you, want to protect you, have the same values, have the same vision for life. But you don't even notice those guys when you're not healed. You won't even see them. They won't even be on your radar. Yeah.
And that's the good thing about it. During that process, it's not that you have to marry these guys or commit to them, but you're seeing the work paying off. You're seeing the higher quality guys. And as you're changing, these guys that you may not be attracted to, like you mentioned, are guys that are made for you, guys that are designed for you because your attraction changes, what you're looking for changes. And we always talk about men are super moved and attracted to how you look. Women are attracted to the masculine men that are providers, protectors, that show those signs of health in those areas. So just being open and allowing yourself to go through that process, we've seen it happen in weeks and months where women have changed from being attracted to guys that are, muscular and all of this, but not providers, to provider energy men and getting engaged in months because of them making that shift.
So good. And I mean, he might be muscular. He might, dress well, and that's okay. But what we're doing is we're not picking guys based on that anymore. We're not picking guys based on physical attraction because that's how men pick women, right? And we're not going to be masculine anymore. And it's so crazy because this is what I really, really want you girls to catch. You have to be willing to detach from the wrong guys first before you can attract the right guys. And I've seen this over and over and over again with the women that I've coached that are now engaged, that are now married, where they had to first let go of the wrong guys before they could even see the new guys. Okay. Because otherwise it energetically blocks you from receiving your husband, from even seeing your husband. Right? Like the man you're dating right now or in a situationship with, in a situationship, by the way, ladies, a lot of times women think that they're in a relationship. A situationship is like, you guys are not dating for marriage. You're not dating for marriage. Like there's not a timeline. There's not a ring on your finger. You guys just kind of hook up with each other and then you get comfortable. And then, a year has gone by, 5 years has gone by, and you're still kind of in the same situation, right? That's a situationship. And that is something that is so common so common nowadays with people where they don't have that sense of direction with the person that they're dating for marriage.
Mm.
But what I want you to know is even though you're comfortable with that person
Yeah.
and you might even love each other, right? There might be great things about him, but that's what's blocking your husband from actually finding you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even I'm glad you mentioned that point because sometimes potentially the wrong guy
Yeah.
could be a guy you've been with for 5, 7 years.
Mhm.
And the challenge with that could be is promises have been made. Now you're comfortable,
Yes.
and you see a future with yourself. But
Mhm.
understand this, most healthy masculine energy men aren't going to drag a relationship out 5,
Mm.
7, 10 years
Mhm.
because they understand that once you find a woman like I did,
Yeah.
who is a wife, so a woman who's ready to be led, a woman who's ready to be in a marriage.
Mhm.
For me, her already being a wife, and unfortunately, her previous husband passed of cancer. But me knowing and
Yep.
seeing that she was already a wife,
Mhm.
I don't want to just. I'm not just going to date her when I was more healthy, right? When I did my healing, I'm not just going to date her because I know wives don't stay on the market. Wives
Yeah.
are found by husbands. So
Mhm.
most healthy masculine energy men aren't going to drag things out for 5, 7 years.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, you have to be okay because it may hurt to make those decisions, but you
Mhm.
have to just go by what he's done and not listen to what he says, especially when there's no action behind it.
That's so good. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains blessing and favor from the Lord.
Yes.
But you have to already be embodied in that
Yes.
wife energy. Men have to see you as a wife. If men are not seeing you as a wife, babe, it's because you're not embodied in that wife energy. You
Mm.
might think you are. You
Mm.
might in your head, oh, I want to get married, but men aren't seeing you that way.
Yes.
And so that's when the feminine energy academy comes into play, because that's literally what we're doing in there.
Yes.
Is we're training you, we're teaching you how to at an embodiment level, at a nervous system level, at a subconscious level, at an energetic level, at a spiritual
Mm.
level, you embodying that wife energy, that
Mm.
worthy energy. I mean, this is why Christ calls us the bride. The church is the bride. This is your divine birthright. That's what I want you to catch. Is
Yes.
this is already in you, babe. It's not something you have to chase or you have to figure
Yeah.
out or read another book.
Mm.
It's something that you already are, which I understand can feel very confusing. But when you are actually doing the inner work at a nervous system level and your energy shifts, you'll know that it's working because you're going to start to attract
Yes.
differently. Yeah.
So let's get to a couple of questions and comments. First comments from Rosie. Rosie's in our Feminine Energy Academy as well. She says, "Hi, beautiful people. I'm learning all this after the
Mm,
fact, and it's been really helpful,
so good.
especially my anxious attachment and nervous system chaos.
Yes.
I'm 50% detached and already feeling so different."
Right. And it's so amazing. We have testimonials like this all the time in the Feminine Energy Academy where women are like, in 1 week, my nervous
Yeah.
system feels so calm now. And they feel so unbothered. And for a woman that is used to being hyper triggered and anxious about everything,
Mm.
men, money, your body, just life, kids, all that stuff. When you're used to running off of that adrenaline and that cortisol and you can't sleep properly, you don't feel good in your nervous
Mm.
system. When you get that sense of relief, like, okay, I'm going to retrain my nervous system to
Yeah.
relax and detach and stay unbothered. It is the best feeling
Yes.
in the world
Yeah.
as a woman. It's the best feeling in and and the great thing about this is what I teach you girls is how to stay in that.
Mm.
So even if you do start to see yourself falling into those patterns of anxiousness again, attachment again to the wrong people or even to the wrong things, I teach you how to detach from it from a healthy, secure place, relaxed place. So you can be in that feeling of relax and relief.
Yeah.
And that's what actually softens your energy.
Mm.
We talk about how men are attracted to soft,
Yes.
magnetic, feminine energy. Well, in order for you to be embodied in that soft, magnetic, feminine energy that men just crave and cannot get enough of, it's about you being
Yeah.
detached. And detached doesn't mean the wall is up
Yeah.
and you don't care. It literally just means that your nervous system is so regulated, it's so calm, it's so unbothered, you don't even care what's going
Yeah.
on around you. That's what
and
makes you
being being
magnetic.
detached, it does wonders, especially if a man is
Mhm.
really looking at you as his potential wife. And
Yep.
like you said, it's not that you have walls up or anything like that, but you're living your life. He hasn't
Yeah.
committed to you. He hasn't asked you to
Yeah.
be his wife. So you detaching shows that you're not waiting around.
Yep.
You like him, even in our situation, like she liked me, she wanted to be with me potentially,
Mhm.
but she knew that she had to detach because I wasn't making that same commitment.
Yeah.
I wasn't making the commitment that she desired. So detaching drew me in a sense of where's she at? Like she's not
Mhm.
available. I can't just
Yeah.
call her. I just can't pop up on her
Mhm.
because she's not available. She's out living her life. She's going on dates.
Mhm.
At the time, who knew who it was with? But she was going on dates with her
Yep.
friends, with her kids, and she wasn't available. So that detaching drew me
Yep.
in, and it caused me to make a decision. Do
Mhm.
I want to be with her or do I not want to be with her? And when I decided that I wanted to be with her, then the actions followed, and you got more of me instead of getting less of
Yeah.
me because you're just so available.
Oh, so good. And it's so important that the man feels like it's his decision, ladies. If you feel like you're having to convince a man and drag him to the altar, you're going to have to play in that energy in marriage too.
Mm,
So that is so important. This is like a win win situation
yeah,
for the ladies. When you're able to detach, but also still be open in your warm, feminine energy, you're first of all going to attract healed men
mm,
that want to show up because they need that space to come chase you down. They feel good, they feel activated in their masculine energy, and it's going to cause the wrong guys to fall away,
mm,
and you're not even going to notice them. You're going to be turned off of bad boys. You're going to be turned off and bored
mm,
of men that are inconsistent,
mm,
and you're going to start appreciating the man or the men that are showing up
yeah,
consistently for you.
yeah,
That's what it feels like. It feels so good because you are playing in a new pattern where you're not abandoning yourself anymore. You're like, no, okay, I'm not going to attach onto you
yeah,
by abandoning myself anymore. I'm going to stay detached. I'm choosing me from a healthy, secured place. And then the men around you will
yeah,
mirror that back to you.
yeah.
And by the way, it's not just men, it's clients, it's
Mm,
social media followers, it's just people around you, opportunities. We're innately drawn and magnetized to people that have that certainty and that
yes,
regulation and that self worth and security within their own nervous
yes.
system. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me get to the comments in question. Yahweh's child had a comment said,
Mm,
I'm 4 years single and celibate,
yeah.
still healing and growing daily.
So good.
Just getting back into dating. I met quality men, but geez, has the game changed?
Yeah, the game has changed in the sense of this. The game has changed in the sense of social media and dating apps. And I understand that feeling because I was married before I was with the same partner for 15 years. Okay. So they didn't have social media and smartphones
That's
back
true.
then. And you didn't have access to the entire globe when it came to dating. So in that sense, dating has changed. But like everything in life, it's only working out in your favor. It's
Mm,
actually easier, not harder. I know a lot of people say dating is harder nowadays. No. In our worlds, dating is easier, not harder. And the reason why is because most people are walking around unhealed.
mm,
They still are playing in their old attachment styles. They have a dysregulated nervous system. They haven't emotionally healed. And then they're just dating on different dating apps. Don't know how to talk to men online because you haven't been taught, right? Like you actually have not been taught how to talk to the masculine
mm,
online, right? And so if you're noticing that and you're playing in certain patterns where you're not getting the results you want, don't get mad at yourself or you get mad at the guys. Just take a step back and be like, okay, you know what? I'm on this inner healing journey, which is great, but maybe I need to skill up.
mm,
Maybe there's a bit of a skill gap there, and that's okay. Right? It's just like social media, it's like business. Like there's a skill gap there for a lot of people, right? So, what you want to do, what I encourage you to do and invite you to do is actually learn how to communicate with the masculine.
mm,
Continue doing your inner healing, right? That nervous system re-regulating, but also learn how do you connect with men online?
mm,
How do you set up your dating profile? How do you understand the masculine psychology, all of these things. But the great thing about how we teach it is we're not doing it from a place of
mm,
desperation and lack of worthiness and needy energy, like somebody pick me. No, we don't do that. We're doing it from a place of just having fun. Dating gets to be fun. I get to meet other people, but I also have skills
mm.
in this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share a testimony from one of the ladies in the Feminine Energy
Ooh.
Academy. Black Velvet Photo says, Hi, love your channel. I've been doing the inner work for the last year.
Okay.
Started intermittent fasting and in April and never felt better. Have lost all the trauma weight. My nervous system has regulated And now the most perfect man for me is courting me, and I'm loving every minute.
Oh my gosh, you should screenshot that one.
Yes,
That
yes.
is, and that's exactly what it looks like, ladies. Like we have so many women like this. So she said, right? She's done the inner work, done the inner healing, lost her trauma weight, which is if you are holding on to weight as a woman, okay, it's hormones or it's you're holding on to emotions. A hundred
Yeah.
percent of the time. I have never once coached a woman that was struggling with losing weight where it wasn't one of those two things,
Mm,
hormones or she's emotionally still holding on to something,
mm,
because subconsciously you're hiding. It's like a subconscious don't look at me
mm,
energy, right? And once again, we're not talking about you need to be a skinny mini or anything like that, but we're talking about you being healthy and
mm.
fit
Yeah.
and feeling confident in your body in like all different shapes and sizes. But if you're struggling in those areas, that's what it is. And the beautiful thing about it, what she's talking about is once she released that weight, she re-regulated her nervous system. Now she attracted an amazing quality man who's now courting her for
Yes.
marriage, right? And so we just hear stories like this every day in the
All the
Feminine Energy
time, and
Academy. I
every
love
time we
this.
hear it,
Yeah.
it's such a good thing to hear because
Yeah.
these are ladies that have struggled on the other side
Mhm.
or had challenges
Yeah.
in those areas. So it's just good to hear.
And also I just want to also insert here, this is all races,
Mm,
all different types of women, all different ages of women, because
yes.
sometimes we can get stuck in these patterns of, oh, men don't want dark skinned women,
Mm,
men don't
yeah.
want women from America,
Right.
oh, men don't want single moms, and those are not true. Like we are showing, we're proof that it's not true
Yes.
in the Feminine Energy Academy. We have helped women all over the world. One of our recent marriages, lady in Africa. I mean, we've had women get engaged, married from the Caribbean, from
Mm,
Canada, from UK, from the US, like literally all over the
yes.
place. Yeah.
Yes. So Vanessa, who's also in the Feminine Energy Academy, says, "Do guys detach, pull away after sexual contact with a woman
Yeah.
if they weren't in a committed relationship or going out on a consistent date?" And
Yeah.
I'll address
Yes,
that one
you go
for
for
you.
it, baby.
Definitely. Now, you said, do they detach or pull away after sexual contact with a woman? First off, if you're not in a committed relationship that's going towards marriage, and even if you are,
Mhm.
when you start having a sexual relationship with a guy, something happens where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, we're not together. Okay, this was fun. The chase was fun. And
Yeah.
even if they have the right intentions, because I
Yeah.
hear so much guys who go into it with the mindset of, I really like her and we really want to be with her. But how we're designed, how God designed us, if we're not in a committed relationship, if we haven't made covenant with this person, then even though we're sexually attracted and connected and may have a soul tie, it's hard for men to commit to women once
Mhm.
they get what they want.
Mhm.
So he chased you. He might have been following you for a year or 2 years. You had him friend zone, and now you're giving him a chance.
Yeah.
And as soon as you give him a chance, he walks away. This happens all the time, and we talk about it ourselves.
Yeah.
When we first met and we
We
did
went
things
through this.
initially, as
Mhm.
much as I liked her and wanted to be with her, something within me was pulling away. Something in me was self-sabotaging, and a lot of times it's because we're not committed. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, what are we doing anyway?
Yeah.
And I was watching someone online yesterday. One of the first reactions guys said they have once they have sex with a woman is it's that moment of like coming to God, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? What? And it's not because it's
Yeah.
you, it's
Yeah.
because it's them, and we're designed to be in relationship, to be in covenant, and anything
Mhm.
outside of covenant is outside of God's will. So it won't work no matter how good the people are. Guys are
Mhm.
going to detach, guys are going to move on, and it has to
Yeah.
be a coming to God moment where God connection, and this is really
Yeah.
meant to be. But trying to do it on our own, within our own will power, within our own strength, guys are going to fall away each time. So definitely, we say stay celibate, wait
Mhm.
until marriage, because that's the way things work out even better. And we're proven in that area as well.
Yeah, and with the women that we coach too, the ones
Yes.
that are now married,
Mhm.
they practiced the celibacy,
Yes.
and I understand it can be hard, especially when you're grown, right? And like you're not 20 anymore, so it has more challenges. But exactly in our situation, it's like you could be with the perfect person.
Yeah.
Like there was literally nothing wrong.
Yes.
There was no drama. There was no fighting. He
Right.
was showing up consistently, all this stuff. But it's like as soon as you step out of doing things God's way, it just doesn't work.
Yep.
It doesn't work. I
Yep.
mean, God has designed it for a reason. And hormonally, it changes, right? So, hormonally, the man and the woman change when they start sleeping together.
Hmm.
So, what happens with the man is, his testosterone drops. That's why he doesn't feel like chasing her anymore. And it's subconscious.
Yeah.
And for the woman, she's releasing oxytocin. So, she's now bonded to him. Right, because that's how we have
Yeah.
evolved as humans, where women will bond and emotionally and hormonally bond to the man that she's sleeping with, right? And then so now she's not thinking right, and then he's pulling away, and then she's triggered. Now, he's triggering her abandonment wounds and anxious attachment style wounds, and she's probably going a little nutty or like going in her like, chasing mode, and then he's more turned
Yeah.
off of her, and then that's the cycle that continues, versus doing the things that we teach, where it's like when you're dating, you're only dating for the purpose of
Yes.
marriage. That's it. You're not dating for hookups. You're not dating, oh, let's see how this goes. No, like you're actually dating like old school way, like biblical way. And a lot of other faiths and cultures do this, where they have matchmakers and they date for the purpose of marriage.
Hmm.
And they're not sleeping together until their wedding night.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this, and I mean, you can do whatever you want, but in our experience, one, it shortens the engagement,
Yeah.
is great. Number two, that's so great, is you have clear thinking.
Mm.
You have clear thinking as a woman, you have clear thinking as
Yeah.
a man, because you're not sleeping with each other.
Yeah.
So if there's some major red flags, you will overlook those red flags if you're sleeping with the guy. It's like how the woman's brain is wired,
Mm.
right? Her decision making changes when she's sleeping with the guy,
Mm.
right? And if you're sleeping with him, he has nothing to chase anymore.
Yeah.
This is when you'll see
Yeah.
men that are dragging things out. They're staying in situationships with you. They're dragging out the marriage. Oh, we'll get married maybe in 2 years from
Yep.
now. Right. And then you've wasted your time as a woman. You've wasted your feminine energy. You've drained your energy. You've drained, like if you have, you want to have babies, those fertile years, you're wasting those fertile years with a man that's dragging his feet, right? Versus choosing, like, no, I'm getting
Yes.
married, right? And surrendering it to God, using strategy, getting the help that you need. It's going to completely save you so much time,
Yeah.
so much energy, and it's going to give that space for that guy to come towards you and
Yeah.
choose you.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're in that situation
Yeah.
right now, don't ask him about it or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Understand that you have a decision to make,
Yeah.
and it's based on where you're at and what he's showing you. And we're saying this is generally speaking. We know that this doesn't happen 1000% of the time, but this happens most of the time. And you still have the decisions to make as a woman,
Yeah.
even if he's telling you that he's going to marry you one day. If he's not showing, if he's not going to look for a
Yeah.
ring, if he's not talking about a venue, a wedding date, you have a decision to make, because those things can drag out. And like you said, you lose those fertile years and you look up, it's 10 years later.
Yeah.
And, they know the family, they're a part of the family, but you don't have any paperwork behind it. So you really have to make that decision if you see yourself in that situation.
And it makes you feel so bad as a woman. Like that doesn't help your self-esteem as a woman when you're with a guy and you're sleeping with him or you're sleeping with a bunch of different guys and no one has stepped up for
Yeah.
marriage, right? We were watching a movie yesterday,
Yeah.
Jump the Broom.
Jump the broom. Yeah.
Jump the Broom. Really good movie. You should watch. It's an old school movie. But same scenario, right? Like she's tired of that. So she's like, okay, I'm only dating for marriage. Meets a guy and they have a quick engagement. Why?
Mhm.
Because she's celibate.
Yeah.
She's staying celibate until marriage,
Yeah.
right? Because the other thing I want you ladies to catch is men don't fall in love with you based on that.
No.
That's not what, maybe you can talk about that, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men, I mean, even though men are going to pursue you, they
Yeah.
want to have sex with you,
Yeah.
it seems like the only thing on their mind at times, because,
Yes.
they're always trying to get it. Most men, most healthy masculine energy men can get sex from anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
men can get it in any way that they desire. So having sex with them doesn't show your loyalty. It doesn't show that you're down for them. It
Mhm.
shows that you're just like many other women that they've
Yeah.
dealt with, that
Mhm.
you're willing either for a price, either if
Yeah.
they're willing to wait it out for time, you're willing to allow him to go past certain boundaries that are only set for your husband. And that's all he sees. He doesn't
Mhm.
see that you're nice, you're cooking for him. He sees that this boundary has been crossed. And now he's starting to look at you potentially like he looks at the other ladies that have given it up early. So
Mhm.
men will be willing to wait on you, if you have those boundaries, and if
Yeah.
you're showing that you're a wife, then they'll make that decision a lot quicker. I mean, 3 to 6 months, you'll be engaged, and you'll probably
Yeah.
be married within a year
Yeah.
if you're able to hold down and hold those boundaries in the area of having premarital sex.
And let me also clarify, because I've seen also situations where a woman's like, I'm going to stay celibate and I'm waiting on God. And they haven't done their inner work. They haven't done their inner healing. They don't know anything about feminine energy, masculine energy, polarity, dynamics. They don't know how to talk to a man.
Mhm.
They don't know what the masculine craves, and they're still waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's very different than the women that we coach,
Yeah.
where it's like you're waiting, but while you're waiting, you're skilling up.
Mm.
So you're doing your inner healing, you're healing your nervous system, you're understanding about feminine energy, you're learning how to be really activated in that wife, magnetic feminine energy that masculine energy craves. You're learning how to speak to
Yeah.
the masculine, how to communicate with him in dating and in marriage. Like you're up leveling. Okay. So that's the right way to wait on God. Okay. And then also you're positioning yourself to be seen by guys, but you're doing it from a place of security and self-worthiness, not from a place of neediness and loneliness and anxiety. So
Yeah.
that's the big difference I want to
Yes.
point out.
And this
Yeah.
is a question that I want you to answer.
Okay.
This is Boosted Barbie 6.2. I'm finding men asking me out who can't afford me.
Hmm.
How do I find out if we're financially compatible before I waste my time going on dates? I make six figures, but they often don't.
Okay, so here's the thing. We got to change the story around that of like I make six figures and they don't. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can't afford you. So
Mhm.
you got to really ask yourself what's really really important for you. What is important that he's paying for example, okay? Because there might be a chance that you make more money than him, right? Just realistically. Not saying that you have to pick guys that don't make as much money as you, but I just don't want that to be in the forefront of your mind, because you're going to keep playing in those patterns. So the most important thing, like what we teach our girls in the Feminine Energy Academy, is getting so clear on the type of man you're calling in
Yeah.
energetically. And I walk you through that process in the Feminine
Yeah.
Energy Academy. I'm not sure if you're in there, but if you are, I really encourage you to do that energy work first of who you're calling
Yeah.
in. Okay. Now, the other thing too is how you're choosing men
Mhm.
is a big deal. If you haven't really done a lot of that inner healing that we're talking about and nervous system regulating, and you're choosing men based on the same ways that you were choosing men before, that could also be why you're picking men that aren't really in that provider energy
Mhm.
for you. So you want to get in front of men that are in that area, or or have that ability to provide
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
is a huge thing.
And this is another thing to add as well. A lot of healthy provider energy men don't necessarily, because I'm looking at your comment right
Oh
here,
yeah, I'm like,
don't
"Oh, that's weird.
necessarily
Yeah, that's
want to,
odd."
right, don't want to necessarily take you out to a 5 star, to eat like you eat on the first date, maybe the first couple of dates. They want to get to know you. So they may take you somewhere that you're not used to, because unfortunately, men that I've coached, men that I've talked to, even family members have talked about feeling like women just want a meal. So, okay, I'm just going out. She wants a meal. I don't want to pay for it right now. But if you're genuinely looking to get to know him, he'll spend as much as needed on you with no issue. But a lot of times, those first and second dates, he wants to get to know you. See if it's worth the investment before he starts to pour out to you in all type of ways. And another thing to look at as well, I think you mentioned it a little, is making sure, if you're attracting guys that you feel like you need to take care of, then you have to see where you at. Are these younger guys? Are these guys that need mothering? What exactly is it? Because who we are is who we attract. So if you're not attracting, if you're generally not attracting these healthy provider energy men, then it's usually a mirror of where you're at in your
Yeah.
life. Not that you're a bad person, or that you need to feel bad or anything like that, but it's just who you are is who you're attracting. So look into that. It's a couple areas that you can look into, but
Yeah.
definitely jump
Yeah.
into the Feminine Energy Academy, because you don't want to try to figure this out on your own. And okay, I'm going on all these dates, it's not working, I don't know what to do. No, women come in and we see changes so quickly, especially if you've been doing work
Yeah.
and you've been taking care of yourself, you're attractive, whatever the case is. Men are looking for you.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure you have the tools to be seen.
Well, and that just brings me to another point. Are you willing, and this is for all the women that are watching right now, are you willing to invest into yourself? I spent a lot of money on myself in my inner healing,
Yeah.
okay? Because I believed I was worth it. And I spent a lot of money in my glow up, my healing, like learning all this stuff. This is why I can coach women easily in this area. So you got to ask yourself, do you spend money on you? Not in a superficial way. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, you want to get your hair done, nails done. That's important too. But your actual healing, have you invested into that? Do you believe that you're worthy of that? Because that's people are going to mirror that back to you. You'll attract people that have done the inner work and inner healing
Hmm.
when you've done that.
Yeah. So
So
true.
that's a huge thing, and really it comes down to the type of men that you're picking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
And
think we have to get going, don't
yeah, we
we?
have
Yeah.
let's do two more and then we can
Okay.
get off. This is
Really good questions, you
yes,
guys.
another testimony I believe from a lady in the FEA. This is Beatrice. Hello everyone. Greetings from a Spanish single woman who's working and living in Saudi Arabia. I'm part of the Feminine Energy Academy since a few weeks ago. Finding
Yeah.
you have been has been a blessing on a journey to
Mm,
detach and move on. So definitely another lady. She's from Saudi Arabia within the Feminine
yeah.
Energy Academy. We
Yeah.
have ladies from all over.
All different cultural
Yes.
backgrounds, all different countries. And Boosted Barbie is saying the money she spent on therapy and inner healing wasn't worth it. And compared to the help, what does it say? Wasn't worth the help compared to what you guys teach me. Yes. And I hear that all of
Yeah.
the time. All of the time, women that are like, this is better than expensive therapy because here's the difference. Therapy is great for like awareness
Mm.
maybe, and it helps you at a head knowledge. It helps you with that masculine head knowledge. It doesn't help you with embodiment.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you with the feminine energy part. It doesn't help you with the actual nervous system re-regulating. So that's what's different about the Feminine Energy Academy is yes, we're going to help you with the awareness and the actual psychology stuff that you can learn from a book or from a therapist, but we're going to actually do deep inner healing, like deep in, like get right under the hood, stuff that you don't know is there that's blocking you from receiving
Yes.
love or dysregulating your nervous system still in the area of relationships or with money or with your body and health. That's the area we go
Mm.
in. And then, of course, we have that support to help you along the ways. So that's a huge, huge difference
Yes.
between therapy and actually getting that coaching and the mentorship that
Yes.
you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I wanted to hit this last question
Okay.
and then
Oh,
yes,
I
this
see this question. This is a really
so
good question, you
yes.
guys.
So she
Somebody
said
asked.
this is one bad RN. She says, if sex is important to you in a relationship, not having sex before marriage is a no. Men hide ED and micro
Micro
P's.
size.
Yeah, micro size. You do not want to be in a sexless or unfulfilled marriage if the physical pleasure of sex is valuable to you. You will harbor resentment, which will lead to infidelity and or divorce. Make sure the sex you're having is something you're able to live with. Be wise and intentional when choosing your spouse. Babe, that's all you right there.
Oh
You
my
got it.
gosh. I love when I saw this question, I was like, you know what? I love our community so much that they feel like they can make statements like this
Yes.
and comments like this and questions like this. I think it's great. We're attracting all different types of
Yes.
people. But when you're listening to that, it sounds like a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that sound like a man to you? It's like, oh, that the seg is so important before marriage. Like, make sure you're test driving it. Make sure the size is good. Like, that's 100% masculine
Yeah.
energy talking, and it's a woman,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So a couple of things, ladies, for the people that are like, oh no, this is important to me. I'm worried that he might have ED or like size issues. Okay. Oh my goodness, ladies. First of all, you don't have to worry about ED when you're choosing healthy men.
Mm.
ED comes from two main issues
Mm.
with men. One is he has insulin resistance and blood circulation issues. So that's a health issue. So typically that's going to be men that don't take care of their body.
Mm.
They don't take care of their health. They're diabetic, pre-diabetic, have heart issues, circulation issues. That over time can cause ED. That's probably the biggest cause
Yeah.
of ED. Okay. Secondly, the other main cause of ED for men is porn.
Mm.
Okay. So a man that has been consuming a lot of pee, a lot of porn. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube or not, but a man that's consuming a lot of that can potentially struggle with ED in the bedroom.
Mhm.
Okay. So the thing is, like, if you are doing what we teach, you're doing what we
Yeah.
teach, and you're attracting healthy men, physically healthy men, mentally, emotionally healthy men, spiritually healthy men that don't have addictions and actually take care of their body, you're not gonna
Right.
struggle with that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
And if you want to test it out before
Yeah.
you get married, what happens with men is most men will never marry you. You'll just be a
Yeah.
test drive car. Everyone
Mhm.
will test you out and then they'll give you back, but they won't take you serious because
Yeah.
when you're so willing to give it up, and when
Yeah.
you're looking to see what he has down
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
men will line up and men will leave too.
Yeah.
So that's not really putting you in position to be a wife,
Yeah.
but you've done a lot of research for
Yeah.
other people, but it's not putting you in position to be found by a husband.
Yeah. Because you are embodied in test driving energy.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to hear that. You are embodied in test driving energy, right? So you think you have all the power as a woman, like, oh, I'm just going to sleep around and test drive all these guys. No, where you're getting played.
Yeah.
You're the one that's getting played,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's just like if women that try to manipulate men from a place of deceit, not from a healthy place, then you're also in that energy,
Yeah.
babe. If you're trying to make a man jealous, you're playing
Yeah.
in that energy.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get,
Yes.
right? So that's why there's like the cheat code is really doing the inner work.
Yeah.
The cheat code is actually healing your nervous system, healing your abandonment wounds. And also, let me say, this lady doesn't realize this, and I mean, I hope she sees this. I don't know if she'll see this or not, but when women are like that, when they're just like the wall is up, oh, it's all about the sag for the woman. She is so wounded. She's in her avoidant attachment style.
Mm.
So that's why she's acting like a man, right? Because the shield is there, the guard is there. There's like the emotions have been completely removed from the situation. It's purely physical,
Mhm.
right? And like, let me just test drive with these different guys. And she's completely abandoning herself. She doesn't actually see herself. She doesn't see the worthiness in her. And that came from childhood, right? Just not seeing that inner child and validating her as a little girl. It's a wounded little girl that has learned to put a shield around here and basically act like a man
Mm.
to feel safe. That's what's happened.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And we love you. If you
yes.
resonate with that, you will not be judged by us at all. Okay. I just want you to know that you're seeing this for a reason. We
Yes.
love you so much. But in the Feminine Energy Academy, it is a judgment free zone for our ladies to heal
Mm.
and recognize the patterns you've been playing in. And so you can start attracting healthy love, which you
Yes.
are worthy of.
Yes. And we
Yeah.
have so many more questions that we're not able to get to. But
Mhm.
if you could just add your questions to the comment or
Yes.
jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, you can post the questions in the community section,
Yeah.
or you can private message us
Yes.
with those questions. We'll be able to answer those, help you get your
Mhm.
healing, help you get the answers that you need. Not that you
Yes.
want, but the answers that you need to help you in your journey.
Yes. And we have a masterclass tomorrow. You can read that testimony in a second.
Mhm.
We have a masterclass tomorrow for the ladies exclusively in the FEA, in the Feminine Energy Academy. Coach B is going to be doing, it's called The Man's Perspective. We're
Coaching the ladies.
coaching the ladies from the healthy, healed, masculine perspective. And this is a great opportunity for you to be in a safe place with just him and the ladies and work through your scenarios, work
Yes.
through situations. You learn so much.
Yes.
And you get it right from the healthy, healed, masculine perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll leave on this note from Lauren. She says, as an FEA member, I'm
Mm.
so thankful for your guidance and support to heal and regulate my nervous system
Mm.
enough to stand by my values, to hold my standards and boundaries when tested by men.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, so
Yes.
welcome. I love this. I mean, men are going to test you.
Yeah.
That's part of, and it's subconscious, right? It's a lot of it is very, very
Yes.
subconscious. But when you as a woman have, like Lauren, who's in the Feminine Energy Academy, when you're empowered, meaning you know how
Mm,
this works, you know how dating works, you know how relationships
yes.
work, you know how the nervous system works, you understand the dynamics between masculine and feminine energy and polarity, you feel so empowered and confident as a woman, where a man can do whatever
Yes.
and you just know what to do. You
Yeah.
just know which situations to walk away from and you're not even triggered. Or it's like, okay, he's going through something right now. Let me just give him some
Yes.
space, let him figure it out. I'm going to go over here and do this because I'm secure in myself. And then he comes a running because
Yes.
99.9% of the time, they always come back a running.
Yes. And we'll end with these two.
Yeah.
This is Bella says, as a psychologist, I have to say any attachment is wounded. Both avoidant and
Yep.
anxious one have same core wounds.
Yep.
I agree with your teachings
Oh, thank
from a
you, Bella.
psychologist.
Thank you, Bella. I
Yes.
appreciate that. We actually have a lot of psychotherapists, psychologists, doctors
Yes.
in the Feminine Energy Academy. And what they love about it is they're so smart. Like Bella, you're so smart, right? Like you got the education, you got the
Yes.
degrees, you did everything you were told to do. But a lot of them struggle with the feminine energy part, the embodiment part. And so that's what they'll often say is this was the missing piece to kind of tie everything together
Yeah.
and help it click. So thank you for that. We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
shout out to everyone who joined.
Yes.
David from Chicago, hometown. Good
What's
to see
up?
you on, David. But definitely jump into the Feminine Energy Academy. The
Yeah.
link is below.
And it's a free. Oh,
Yes, a 7-day free trial right now for any ladies
yeah,
only,
please.
ladies that want to jump in, and you can binge watch, you can ask questions, you have total access for those 7 days.
Yeah.
So jump in right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And you'll have access to tomorrow's masterclass as well, where we have the Ask a Man, where we go through coaching the ladies as well.
Well, and also I just thought of this too. There's a lot of coaches and therapists in our Feminine Energy Academy, and they're coaching clients.
Mhm.
So it's help them help their clients more, which is what we're all about. We want to help as many women as possible, right? So even if this content is resonating with you, or maybe you already know it, but you want to see how we can go deeper, and you might be able to use that with your clients and your members and customers and all that stuff as
Yes.
well too. So we do have women like that in there as well.
Yes.
Hello from Barcelona. Okay,
Yes.
we're out of
So
here.
we'll see you all tomorrow.